Wow, I need sunglasses. You're all so incredibly beautiful. Welcome to the 38th Annual World Congress on Illumination. This is our final World Congress on Illumination, and the reason for that is glorious, because our divine mission from the beginning was to assist in reversing the adverse effects from our fall from grace, so that humanity and all life could move forward and return to our original divine position in the universe that we now belong to. We have succeeded beyond the greatest expectations of heaven, and I know that seems contrary to outer world appearances. But as the beings of light have said, the physical plane of Earth is the least real of all of the dimensions that we abide in, and it is the very last frequency to reflect the wondrous transfiguration that's going on in this planet. Beloved ones, I want you to go within and center your hearts, and we will listen to a beautiful song from our wonderful angel, Kristen Hoffman, and then we'll begin our activity of light. Thank you, Kristen. That was beautiful. I want to welcome all of you and all of our magnificent fellow light workers that are joining us on our live stream from around the world. This is an incredibly powerful time, and the beings of light have said everyone is in their right and perfect place. Those of you that have gathered in this room, nobody is here by accident. Whether you've been one that has come over and over again all of these many decades, or whether you're here on a whim because a friend invited you to come just this week, you have been preparing for lifetimes to fulfill this facet of the divine mission. The people that are joining us from their points of light around the world are serving as acupuncture needles in the body of beloved Mother Earth for the light that comes through this powerful transformer during this week in this location. I want to mention to you that we have been gathering in this force field of light every other year since 1986. This is our 20th World Congress held at Lowe's Ventana Canyon Resort in this portal. We were guided to anchor the light in this particular location in the early 1980s, between 1980 and 1983, and we anchored this force field of light, and within months, they began building this beautiful resort. They built it for us. They didn't know they were building it for us. But this is a powerful point. We are creating the force field. The light is coming through this week into the center of the earth and being transmitted through the crystal grid system to all of the magnificent beings of light aware of this and turning in consciousness, whether they're aware of it or not, through their I am presence. We have had the preparation through the Lion's Gate on Thursday. The 888 Triple Lion's Gate is a powerful annual event that occurs as we move through powerful portals of light in the inner realms. And when I say we, we're talking about Mother Earth and all life evolving upon her. We also have the Olympic Games. The beings of light, since we've been working in this embodiment, and many others I'm sure, have said that the Olympic Games are one of the most powerful events on the planet for them to be able to anchor light through our heart flames, through the collective cup of humanity's consciousness. There are a lot of things that draw the outer world attention of humanity, but normally they're tragic things like wars or negative things that occur. The Olympics are one of the things that for 17 days draws an estimated 5.5 to 6 billion souls on this planet, the attention that is creating this collective cup of consciousness. And the thought form and the heart connection is the family of humanity setting aside our differences to come together in peace with the goal of attaining our highest level of excellence. This particular thought form is perfect for the events that are going to be unfolding during this week. I want to mention to you that 44% of the people gathered here are brand new, and you're drawing people. That's wonderful. We're drawing people all over the world. There are people that have traveled here from 17 countries and from 42 states in the United States of America. I'm going to read the countries just so that we can focus on and realize the participation from around the world. These names are in alphabetical order: Argentina, Australia, Bermuda, Canada, England, France, Guatemala, Germany, Ireland, Italy, Mexico, New Zealand, Norway, Spain, the Netherlands, the United Kingdom, and the United States of America. Our mission for this activity of light is to awaken, to activate, and to elevate our creative faculties of thought and feeling, and our physical senses of sight, sound, smell, taste, touch, intuition, and imagination. For decades, the beings of light have been preparing us for this moment. And they have asked us over and over again, if you had no limitations, no time and space limitations, no family limitations, no health limitations, no financial limitations, and you could just create the most magnificent new heaven and new earth that you would abide in for your life, what would that be like? And the beings of light say, people around the world say, there would be no hunger, there would be no war, there would be no pain and suffering of any kind, no disease, no aging. We'd have the pristine elemental kingdom, the beauty and wonder of Mother Earth. And they would name things that are familiar to us and that we could relate to and identify. But they said that no matter how glorious our vision is, even working with the most creative people on the planet, that we are barely addressing what we had before the fall of grace that took place eons ago. We haven't even begun to grasp the wonder and awe of the patterns of perfection for the new earth that we are being called to co-create. And the beings of light have said that the reason we aren't able to tap into those patterns yet is because after the fall, we fell into such dense frequencies of vibration that it is truly beyond the comprehension of our finite minds to grasp the wonder of what exists in those higher frequencies. Our mission for the 38 World Congresses on Illumination was to assist humanity to reverse the adverse effects for our fall from grace. And even though not everyone on the planet has ever heard about us, the beings of light said the I Am presence of every man, woman, and child is working in unison on this project in one way or another. And the light work being accomplished on this planet by light workers, that our numbers are legion. 38 numerically is an 11, the master number 11. And 11 is the spiritual master number that reflects the transfiguration from the physical into the divine. The beings of light said through wondrous activities of light that have been unfolding now for decades, on the solstice on December 23rd, 2023, the earth and all life evolving upon her were able to be breathed by our Father, Mother God into the full embrace of our grand central sun, thus reclaiming our rightful place in our system of worlds after our fall from grace. The beings of light have asked me to share some of the background that has brought us to this moment, and to assure all of us that this information may seem new, it may sound unfamiliar to you, but it is not. Every person sitting in this room, every person tuning in on our live streaming or those that'll be watching replays have been preparing for lifetimes for this cosmic moment. And we have been chosen to do this particular mission together collectively as the family of humanity, not because we're more special or unique than anyone else, but the beings of light and our Father, Mother God felt that with our preparation over myriad lifetimes, in many, many instances, weeping and wailing through our valley of tears after the fall from grace, that we have the potential of being able to stay focused on the light through our strength and our tenacity in face of all of the adversity that we have been facing. So we have been given this divine mission, not because we're more special or unique than anyone else, but because we've agreed to work our tails off and to stay focused in the light in the face of all adversity. There's so much confusion and misinformation about things, so just listen to these words as food for thought. And as you know, we have consistently through all of our teachings reiterated the profound truth that we don't ever want you to accept something as truth just because somebody has told you it's so, but rather to listen with an open heart. Anything that doesn't resonate, just let it go. And I promise you, if there's information being shared tonight that doesn't resonate with you, but that is important for you to fulfill your divine plan and accomplish what you've agreed to do, your I Am presence will keep presenting that information to you over and over and over again until you let it in. So just listen to this information, because I think sometimes mostly time frames are what seem confusing about this. The beings of light want us to know that the initial impulse of the fall of humanity took place millions of years ago. The earth is 4 billion years old, and it didn't begin 5,000 years ago in Mesopotamia. It began eons ago. And just to have an understanding, our particular solar system that the Earth is evolving in consists of a central sun. And our central sun, the solar logos, are named Alpha and Omega. And when beings of light, the sons and daughters of God, evolved to the point of being able to be a solar logo, they are allowed to create a solar system. And our sacred geometric patterns and geometry consists of the number 12. and the power of 12 times 12. And we hear about the number 144, and that's our universe consists of the sacred geometry of the power of the 12 times 12. And in the beginning, Alpha and Omega, assigned to be our central sun, breathed forth 12 physical suns. And the earth, our sun, is the fourth sun out from Alpha and Omega. The solar logos from our physical sun are Helios and Vesta. Each of those 12 suns breathed forth 12 planets. So there are 144 planets in our solar system. And in the beginning, Alpha and Omega magnetized from the heart of God all of the souls, the sons and daughters of God, that are going to evolve on all of those 144 planets. And the purpose and reason for the sons and daughters of God to embody in a step-down frequency of a third dimension is so that with the gifts that we have been given, the creative faculties of thought and feeling, and our senses, and all of our ability to perceive and think, that we will learn, and our free will, we will learn how to become co-creators with our Father, Mother, God. And all of the spirit sparks, all of the sons and daughters drawn into the heart of Alpha and Omega are for the entire evolutionary process of this system of our 144 planets. And they are divided into root races. There were 7 root races, and each root race had 7 sub-races. None of this is really important, except it just helps us understand more the time. And what happens is that the first sub-race of the first root race embodies on all 144 planets. They go through their various lifetimes. Our purpose and reason for being was observing all of the patterns of perfection in the causal body of God. And then for our unique ways of thinking and feeling, we would create new, previously unknown expressions of divinity, expanding the borders of the kingdom of heaven on the various planets. When we went through our lifetimes, which was fairly rapid because we didn't have negativity at that time, we would complete those experiences and move on into the heavenly realms. And then the second sub-race of the first root race would embody on all of the planets. And it wasn't until we reached the middle of the fourth root race and the fourth sub-race of the fourth root race, we reach this moment in time, like we're in now, that is referred to as the shift of the ages. And what the shift of the ages is, it's a moment in time through all creation, when through galaxies and systems of worlds in all creation, cycles within cycles within cycles dovetail into the rhythmic momentum of our Father, Mother, God. And when that occurs, our Father, Mother, God inbreathe the whole of creation up the spiral of evolution to the next octave of our learning experience. So for the system of Alpha and Omega, the 144 planets in our system were being breathed into the fourth dimension, up the spiral of evolution into the fourth dimension. And what happens when that occurs is any sons and daughters of God that have experimented with their creative faculties of thought and feeling and manifested patterns that were not based in love, discordant frequencies of vibration, so that they were vibrating at denser energies, they would not be able to withstand that higher vibration at a cellular level, and they would have been evaporated. It's like trying to move through a lightning bolt. So when that happens, those souls are left behind. And nothing is ever totally lost, but they are returned to the electronic belt around Alpha and Omega, repolarized for future systems of worlds, and they have to start over from scratch. The beings of light said it is really one of the most tragic things that can ever happen to a son or daughter of God. So in that moment, in the middle of the fourth root race, the evolutions of Earth were still vibrating at the pristine perfection of our Garden of Eden state. We hadn't started experimenting with our gift of life. We became aware that there were millions of our sisters and brothers on some of the other 143 planets that were not going to make it through the shift. And this is important for us to understand. The evolutions of Earth became aware of that, and they appealed to the heart of Alpha and Omega to see if Helios and Vesta, our physical sun, would sustain us in the third dimension, and to allow what they were referred to as laggard souls to be transferred to the inner planes of Earth, and then to be born through the evolutions of Earth so that they could hold a powerful enough force field of love to help these souls transmute their negativity and get back on track, and then we would catch up with the rest of our solar system. And the beings of light said, never in all creation had that level of love and compassion been rendered to the sons and daughters of God by the sons and daughters of God. Our whole purpose and reason for being was to learn how to be co-creators and to create new, previously unknown expressions of divine love and power for our Father, Mother, God. So permission was granted to the evolutions of Earth, even though you've heard the expression, we don't know what we don't know. We had no concept of what the negativity was that these souls would be bringing with them to be transmuted. When souls are left behind, it's not just people that are trying and making mistakes. This is heavy-duty black magician kind of deliberately opposing the light energy. In the beginning, when these souls were born in the physical plane, the evolutions of Earth were able to help them transmute their negativity. But in that moment, when it was time for the in-breath, for the shift of the ages, the cosmic tone sounded, those souls were transferred to the inner planes, and the rest of our solar system was breathed into the fourth dimension. That's why it's very distorted, and we don't know about the 12 suns and the 144 planets. They are surrounding us, they are vibrating at higher frequencies, just beyond our physical sight. And just the simplest way of demonstrating that is when we're looking at a fan that's turned off, we see the individual blades, but when we turn on the fan, it spins faster and faster until the individual blades are not available with our third dimensional physical sight. They're still there, they haven't gone, they're just vibrating at a frequency that is higher than our sight. And that's what the heavenly realms is, that's what the beings of light are, that's where our sisters and brothers in other systems of world. And when we send our third dimensional instruments to examine the planets we are aware of that are in our system, like Mars or some of the other planets around us, we'll look through the residue of that third dimensional energy, and we'll say, maybe millions of years ago there was some water on this planet, but actually they're teeming with life, vibrating at higher frequencies of light and just beyond our physical sight. So as the evolutions of Earth, as the laggard souls began embodying on Earth, when they were old enough to start having some of their heavy-duty karmic liabilities open to them, They literally overwhelmed the evolutions of Earth because they had no concept and feeling that discord and the pain of that energy. So we made the fateful decision knowing that if we closed our heart, we wouldn't feel so much pain. Now, as sons and daughters of God, embodying on earth in the beginning, our Father God sends forth a sapphire blue ray of his divine will and power that activates our left brain hemisphere, the power center of our throat, and is anchored in our heart as the blue flame of our Father God. Our Mother God sends forth a crystalline pink ray of light that activates the creative intuitive mind of our right brain hemisphere and our heart chakra, and that's a crystalline pink energy. The pink and blue flames in our heart then merge into a violet flame of God's infinite perfection. That violet flame ascends into our physical brain structure and activates our spiritual brain centers, our pituitary, pineal, and hypothalamus glands, and the ganglionic center at the base of our brain. And our crown chakra is open to full breath. This is the way it was for the first 4.5 root races, or 3.5 root races. And we had open telepathic communication with the beings of light. We could see the beings of light. They were our teachers and our guides. We weren't supposed to be struggling in this physical plane through trial and error. We've heard of the expression, as above, so below. And in this physical plane, we aren't expected to learn all of the academic knowledge on this planet without teachers and professors and guidance to assist us in this process. But when we made that fateful decision to close our heart chakra so that we wouldn't feel so much pain from the negative things that we were experiencing in the outer world, our Mother God had to withdraw the majority of her love because we closed the portal through which she entered the physical plane. We barely were receiving enough love from our Mother God to activate our physical brain structure, and our right brain started to atrophy. This caused the spiritual brain centers to close and become almost dormant. Our crown chakra then closed, and we lost contact with our I am presence and the company of heaven. So we started developing this fragmented fear-based human ego that started using the power of our masculine Father God without the balance of our Mother God. And so we began distorting this consciousness about our God parents. And we felt that as sons and daughters of God, we had a single parent, and that parent was our Father God. Well, what child ever develops without a father and a mother? And gradually, as we evolved, we started thinking of the Holy Trinity, and we started thinking of the love nature of God, and we thought of the Holy Spirit. Well, our Mother God is the Holy Spirit. It's the love nature of God, the nurturing of God. We've distorted it into thinking it's a masculine aspect of our Father God. But what happened as we developed more and more negativity, the discord and negativity from the laggard souls, and when we began partaking of that knowledge, that was the initial impulse of the fall from grace. This is what it meant to partake of the knowledge of good and evil, because prior to the time of experiencing what it was like, the miscreations that we manifested inadvertently by misqualifying our thoughts and feelings and expressing things that were not based in love. That distorted energy was our first experience of discord and negativity. So we struggled with this, getting into denser and denser frequencies. There was a moment in time when the discord was so heavy that it actually bent the axis of the earth. The earth fell off the spiral of evolution onto the distorted frequency of the human miscreation of our wheel of karma. And when that happened, we began just spinning lifetime after lifetime after lifetime with rarely any progress at all. So eons of time later, we came to that cosmic moment again of the next shift of the ages. That's the moment that we are in now, and we're in the process of that particular activity of light. And what this meant for the rest of our solar system is that our solar system, that Alpha and Omega, would move forward into the fifth dimension, but the Earth was still struggling in the third dimension. And no one was willing to give up on us because we got in this mess out of the greatest act of compassion and love that the sons and daughters of God had ever rendered to their sisters and brothers in the family of humanity. So for many, many centuries, there have been unprecedented activities of light trying to assist us. And the Earth, at the end of the 1800s, it was determined that we needed superhuman divine intervention in order to be able to awaken humanity and to get back on track in time to make it through the shift of the ages. Otherwise, the Earth and the vast majority of life upon her were going to be left behind. And so we encountered a unique experiment beginning at the latter part of the 1800s. The beings of light said, never in all creation has a planet been given the opportunity to move through two dimensional shifts in such a short period of time. Alpha and Omega sent forth a clarion call, asking our sisters and brothers from throughout the universe who are advanced, willing to embody on Earth to help shift the consciousness. And literally the floodgates of heaven opened. That's what's caused the incredible population explosion since we've been experiencing since the latter part of the 1800s. The beings of light said, observe the technological advancements, from barely discovering electricity and the telephone and the steam engine at the latter part of the 1800s to what we're doing now with technology. They said there is no logical sequential evolution of consciousness that would have progressed at this particular pace. We weren't supposed to take this sacred knowledge and create weapons of mass destruction like nuclear weapons, but because that fallen consciousness is still on the planet at the lowest frequencies, some of it was very distorted. But that's what's caused this incredible population explosion all over the planet. And it is not going to be our demise. It looks like it might be, in all the pollution and all of that. But all of that is being reversed and cleansed. And when we complete this shift, the souls from other systems of worlds, and many of you could be part of those other systems. We might be from the evolutions. We might be the laggard souls that have woken up and are now getting, and it's totally immaterial. It doesn't make one bit of difference. We're all here to do this work and to move forward in the light. So we've done many, many things, excuse me, and we're going to talk about it during this week as we move through this process. The first harmonic convergence was held in August of 1987. Now, there are two magnificent beings of light. One is known as Polaris, our North Star. That tremendous masculine being of light is responsible for anchoring the masculine polarity of our Father God in the physical plane of Earth. And the original axis of the Earth, the original polarity, was through the Himalayan mountains in Tibet. And the feminine polarity of our Mother God, the magnificent being that anchors the feminine polarity, is Magnus and it's the South Pole, and that energy enters through Lake Titicaca and the portal in Brazil. And the reason that this shift of the ages that we would hear about through harmonic convergence that began in August of 1987, the reason it was focusing predominantly on what was being called the cycle and completion of the Mayan calendar, maybe many of you are aware of that. So people believed, and which was true, that there was a conclusion coming in the Mayan calendar, the 5,125-year cycle of the Mayan calendar. And that's what we were initially told was harmonic convergence. And harmonic convergence was the first global event that took place. It began on August 15th, the 15th, 16th, 17th, and 18th. And the initial impulse was we were told that there would be a 25-year period of grace. During that time, then there would be a shift and the birth of the new earth that would take place in 2012. And what occurred on harmonic convergence, the reason we were focusing on the Mayan calendar is because it drew the attention of humanity into the southern hemisphere and into Machu Picchu and all of the areas of La Paz and Bolivia, so that people were making pilgrimages there, whether they knew it or not, anchoring and awakening the divine feminine, our Mother God. And what took place on harmonic convergence is people just had the heart call and traveled all over the planet to sacred sites. There was no internet, there was no social media, nothing to connect us in this way, but people just responded. We were asked to orchestrate the first World Congress in Honolulu, Hawaii, because Hawaii, the mountaintops in Hawaii, are part of a huge continent that used to be there called Lemuria. And that's where the laggard souls came in that created the initial impulse of our fall from grace. So we were asked to gather in that portal. And on harmonic convergence during those 4 days, the 15th of August is Mother Mary's Ascension Day, working with the flame of the divine blueprint, which is the Immaculate Concept. The light of God poured through the portal in Hawaii into the center of the earth, and then was transmitted to people all over the planet, gathered at sacred sites, anchored in the earth. And it began transforming Mother Earth's planetary grid into her crystalline grid of light. And the light that flowed into the planet at that time literally raised the earth off of the wheel of karma and placed us back on the spiral of evolution. And then year after year, for all of this time since 1987, we have been working with reversing the adverse effects of the fall. Now we have reached this cosmic moment, and our work is not finished yet, and we will complete it this week when the beings of light told us in January that we had now reclaimed our rightful place in our grand central sun of Sanat and Luz. We will know more about that and talk more about this during the week, and we'll discuss it in the virtual morning activities so that we will be online again. They said that we had finally reached a frequency of vibration at a cellular level where we could activate these new frequencies of the patterns of perfection for the new earth that have been beyond the comprehension of our finite minds. And one of the glorious things that has happened in the latter part of the last 2 weeks, the being of light that has held this portal is Hilarion, and he is the being of light of healing through the power of infinite transmutation and the full momentum of the fifth solar aspect of deity. And the beings of light said he was St. Paul in one of his embodiments, just so that we would have a familiar. But we've never known who his divine complement was in all of these years. And this, in the last couple of weeks, preparing for this final activity, in my meditation, he appeared in his luminous, radiant presence in my mind's eye, and joining him was the glorious presence of Pallas Athena, the goddess of truth. And we've known of her and about her, and she is on the karmic board, and she's a familiar being in the outer world. We didn't know that she was associated as the divine complement of Hilarion. And she said the reason she has come forth at this moment to expand this knowledge of truth is because when we elevate the consciousness, the creative faculties of humanity, and awaken the dormant centers of our physical senses that have been dulled since our fall and our struggle in the denser frequencies, she said that when we begin tapping in to the wonder and awe of these patterns that we are being called to co-create, because nothing manifests in the physical plane unless it's drawn through the divinity of sons and daughters of God embodied in the physical plane. The beings of light can't wave a wand and transform this for us. We have to see those patterns. That's our purpose. And I've said in the beginning, observing the patterns, magnetizing them into the physical plane. She said, what we will be seeing, the beauty and wonder of what we will be seeing will be beyond our ability to believe as truth. And she is now working with all of us so that no matter how glorious or wondrous those patterns are, through our conscious minds and our creative faculties and our physical senses, we will be able to know that these are the patterns of truth that we are being called to co-create. Now, what our Father, Mother, God want us to do tonight is to just accept the wonder and the glory of their gratitude. These systems of worlds that we're going to be talking about, the grand central sun, these beings have been waiting for us. Nobody was willing to leave us behind. Never in all creation has a planet been given the opportunity to move through two-dimensional shifts, which we have now done in preparation for moving into our rightful position in the universe, reclaiming our rightful position in the universe. And the infinite gratitude is flowing into the physical plane. Now, when people talk about the fall or the experience, I just want to quickly mention about that, is that after the fall, the Neanderthal troglodyte consciousness of the caveman is what we fell to. It is not what we were in the beginning. And yes, we have evolved from that, but that was after we fell into the densest frequency of vibration, to the caveman consciousness. And there's all kinds of stories about, and pictures on walls and things like that of ancient times, of spacecraft and sisters and brothers coming from extraterrestrial locations to assist us. And I want you to know, and the beings of light are reiterating this, all of that is true. It just is that it happened after the fall, not creating the fall, which is what some of the things are, some of the teachings are talking about. And our sisters and brothers from the other 143 planets have been working with us. They have been coming because we took on their families and their sisters and brothers that couldn't make the shift, and they are incredibly grateful for the sacrifice that the evolutions of Earth have made. And they have been helping us all of this time as we move forward in this light. And this is an important factor. The scientists that have been working with cultures are realizing that in the caveman Neanderthal consciousness, something happened 250,000 years ago through particular sects in the consciousness of the caveman that awakened them. It was an elevated shift of consciousness that began moving the Neanderthal troglodyte into the conscious mind. And nobody has any idea what that was. Scientists don't know what happened. They just know that something changed 250,000 years ago that shifted the consciousness of the cavemen to such a degree that they began forming modern man. The beings of light are telling us that the elevation of the collective consciousness of humanity that is being co-created now is with the awakening into whole new levels and spectrums of consciousness is going to create the same kind of dramatic awakening that occurred 250,000 years ago. And we are creating that this week, step by step. In January, when the beings of light told us about this, they said there is a lot of work to do. The masses of humanity, we are not there yet. In order to withstand this shift, even that's going to be taking place on Thursday, we have to prepare more at a cellular level to be able to withstand that energy. If you've received the vlogs and the newsletters, they've been guiding us step by step. And because we are one, and because collectively there are large numbers of people holding that sacred space, these shifts have occurred through every son and daughter of God on the planet, through the elemental kingdom. We are moving forward into the light, and this time we're taking the earth with us. So it's a much different process than just attaining our ascension and moving into the light. We are taking the earth and all her life back to our original place in this whole spectrum of light. And so we have more work to do today. And we are getting the full support tomorrow or the closing ceremonies and the Olympic Games. We have one of our dear beloved friends that have come, Dominique Germain. She is one of our presenters. She has come from France. She's worked with me for 45 years in the Beings of Light. She's aligned very much and has worked consistently with Polaris and Magnus and the axis of the Earth. And at Lowe's, they said their new master chef is from France, and he's bringing those energies with him here. So we have a lot of work to do. But now, as you listen to this beautiful video that our angel Adi created for us, the beings of light gave us the information. Yes, give her an applause. The beings of light gave us this heart-based from our Father, Mother, God, this gratitude from our Father, Mother, God. And Adi put beautiful visuals to it, music to it, to help us integrate through all of our senses the wonder of the blessing and gratitude. Our Father, Mother, God, and the legions of light that have assisted the evolutions of Earth since our fall, the rejoicing, the elation pouring forth from the heavenly realms that we have arrived at this moment. So please go within the divinity of your heart flame and listen to this beautiful music. And following it, we'll have another beautiful piece of music from our beautiful musician, Paul Luftenager. And then Kay Meyer will do our closing meditation. Precious heart, elation and infinite gratitude are pouring forth from the heart of our Father, Mother, God, and the entire company of heaven. This gift from on high is in response to the selfless service that you and I and the rest of awakening humanity have been rendering to Mother Earth and all life abiding upon her for myriad lifetimes. During this cosmic moment, our godparents are asking all of us to open our hearts so that we can tangibly feel the elation and infinite gratitude flowing into our heart flames from the heavenly realms. We have willingly volunteered to serve as instruments of God during this critical phase of Mother Earth's ascension process. That means that we are the open door that no one can shut. In this eternal moment of now, through the unified efforts of heaven and earth, we will co-create an activity of light that will awaken, activate, and elevate to brand new levels of consciousness humanity's creative faculties of thought and feeling, and our physical senses of sight, sound, smell, touch, taste, intuition, and imagination. Once this activity of light is God victoriously accomplished, awakening humanity will be able to perceive through our creative faculties and our physical senses the wondrous patterns and archetypes for Mother Earth's new fifth-dimensional crystalline solar reality. These unfathomable, heart-based, fifth-dimensional crystalline solar patterns are pulsating in the realms of cause, awaiting the global shift of consciousness that we are being called to co-create at this time. Once this shift occurs, humanity en masse will be able to breathe these awesome patterns into the world of form on the highest frequencies of our holy breath. In order for us to grasp the magnitude of just what this means, the company of heaven wants us to realize that these patterns consist of brand new spectrums of light, divine qualities, geometric patterns, images, colors, musical tones, and fragrances beyond anything the sons and daughters of God embodied on earth have ever imagined. The system of worlds in which Mother Earth belongs has now ascended into the full embrace of our grand central sun. This seemingly miraculous accomplishment has opened brand new portals of light that have given humanity, the elemental kingdom, and Mother Earth access to levels of divine intervention and collaboration from the heavenly realms beyond anything we have previously been able to safely experience at a vibrational level. Since the beginning of this year, 2024, the beings of light from our grand central sun have been guiding us step by step through various activities of light that were designed to strengthen our earthly bodies and to raise the frequency of prana and life force within our holy breath. This divine intervention was a critical factor in preparing each of us for the mission at hand. Our Father, Mother God have revealed that the unprecedented preparation has succeeded beyond the greatest expectations of heaven. We are being told that people everywhere are beginning to witness in myriad ways the collaboration we are now receiving from on high. The infinite love and gratitude we are being blessed with from our Father, Mother God, and the company of heaven this sacred and holy night is preparing all of awakening humanity for the next phase of our individual and collective divine plans in Mother Earth's ascension process. This is intensifying our ability to increase the light of God in every corner of this planet. The success of this essential facet of Earth's ascension process has paved the way for an awakening within the hearts and minds of the masses of humanity that has never before been possible. Through the myriad shifts that have taken place since Mother Earth's ascension into the full embrace of our grand central sun, the Earth is now abiding in higher celestial and cosmic coordinates than we have previously experienced. This new position in the universe is allowing humanity, the elemental kingdom, and Mother Earth to receive powerful, transfiguring solar light codes through the portals of all of the suns in Earth's lineage. This includes the solar light codes flowing through the portals of our physical sun, our central sun, our great central sun, our great central sun, and the system of our grand central sun. Due to the greatly amplified frequencies of divine light, now pulsating within every atomic and subatomic particle and wave of life on Earth, our I Am presence is now communicating with us through our intuitive inner knowing in far more obvious ways than we have experienced since our fall from grace eons ago. Now, during this cosmic moment, you and I and the rest of awakening humanity are being given the opportunity to co-create with the beings of light from our grand central sun, a divine matrix that will assist the masses of humanity to hear the inner guidance from their I Am presence and to comprehend in brand new ways the profound truth of what it means to be the open door that no one can shut. If you have the heart call to serve your sisters and brothers in the family of humanity in this important way, please join with me and lightworkers from around the world who have also selflessly volunteered to be instruments of God during this unparalleled facet of Mother Earth's unfolding divine plan. And we begin. I am my I Am presence, and I am one with the I Am presence of every man, woman, and child on earth. What I invoke for myself this day, I invoke on behalf of every son and daughter of God, in perfect alignment with each one's divine plan and the highest good for all concerned. On the holy breath, all of humanity's I Am presences now merge into one luminous being of light that is cradling Mother Earth and all life evolving upon her within the divinity of our unified heart flames. I take another deep, conscious breath, and instantly I realize that humanity, the elemental kingdom, and Mother Earth are all breathing in unison with me. We are one conscious, holy breath. As I continue breathing in and out deeply, the integration of my I Am presence is being intensified within my earthly bodies. Every electron, every atom, every atomic and subatomic particle and wave of my physical, etheric, mental, and emotional bodies, and all of the spaces in between the atoms and molecules of my bodies are receiving and assimilating this new, multidimensional and multifaceted divine light from my I Am presence. As I assimilate this gift of divine light, I begin to remember the truth about me. I came into this world with a very specific purpose. I came to fulfill a mission. I came to contribute to the salvation and the ascension of this sweet earth and all life evolving upon her. I came to love all life free. I now know that I am part of God, and the fullness of my Father, Mother God abides in me. In the heart and mind of God, every single person is valuable and critically important to the balance and order of the universe. Without me, God would not be complete. Without me, the universe would lose its equilibrium. All that I am called to do, I will now do with enthusiasm and happiness, for I realize that nothing is too insignificant. I am always embraced in my Father, Mother, God's love. Never again will there be a sense of futility in my life. I am overflowing with gratitude for the opportunity to be on earth at this time. I am also thankful to be where I am right now, serving all who come my way with love, compassion, forgiveness, and joy. Now, with the amplified integration of my I Am presence, I am able to hear my intuitive inner guidance in new ways. I am very aware that as a son or daughter of God, I am powerful beyond my knowing. This is true because my Father, Mother, God, and I are one. I now know that all that my godparents have is my divine birthright. I realize that with the divine intervention of my I Am presence, I clearly have the ability to liberate my Father, Mother, God's life in every physical and chemical interaction within my earthly bodies. This light is now healing and recalibrating all of the energy bonds within atoms and between atoms to the vibrational frequency of God's infinite physical perfection. My Father, Mother, God's eternal light pulsates with a divine wisdom that contains everything necessary to set straight the orbit, spin, and electronic charge of every atomic and subatomic particle and wave of life on Earth. All of the energy bonds within the atomic realm are now being accelerated in vibration toward the frequency of Mother Earth's new fifth-dimensional crystalline solar reality. Through the luminous being of light that is formed by humanity's collective I Am presences, every person on Earth is now receiving and assimilating the divine wisdom and sacred knowledge encoded within their own individual I Am presence and their newly activated 12 fifth-dimensional crystalline solar strands of DNA. As this occurs, every person's I Am presence liberates the heart-based patterns encoded within the divine wisdom and the sacred knowledge in our fifth-dimensional DNA. As these heart-based patterns flood the earth, they penetrate into every interaction within humanity
and all of the energy bonds therein. These interactions include the relationships of all people, all organizations, all races, all religions, and all nations. All of these interactions are now being liberated into the harmony of a higher order of being, thus greatly expanding the influence of humanity's I Am presences on Earth. Now, through my fully integrated I Am presence and my 12 strands of fifth-dimensional DNA, I am able to clearly receive the divine promptings, ideas, and concepts from my Father, Mother God. I know now, through all levels of consciousness, that I am a living, light-filled temple of invincible perfection, expressing my true state of enlightened consciousness with every thought, feeling, word, and action I express. I am the open door that no one can shut. I am a being of light, now reflecting God's comprehensive divine love, oneness, unity, reverence for all life, vibrant health, infinite abundance, eternal peace, illumined truth, and abounding joy. I am here and now, my I Am presence tangibly manifesting on Earth. As this profound truth resonates in my heart and mind, my physical reality is being transfigured into the love-based patterns of perfection associated with Mother Earth's new fifth-dimensional crystalline solar reality. And so it is. Through my omniscient, omnipresent, omnipotent Father, Mother, God, the cosmic I Am, all that is. I now gently return my consciousness to the room, and I become aware of my earthly bodies as I continue breathing in and out slowly and deeply. With infinite gratitude and eternal peace, I allow the amplified fifth-dimensional crystalline solar light flowing through my I Am presence to be fully assimilated at a cellular level within my physical, etheric, mental, and emotional bodies. And I revel in the bliss of this moment.